Hello everyone, this is Justin with Deep Dive Stocks. This is your after hours market dive for Wednesday, October 15th. And today we're going to be looking at ES Futures, GME, and NVIDIA. So let's go ahead and get started. Here on ES Futures, we see that we still have these bearish candles. LS is giving us these red candles, so things are bearish. Since they're bearish, that means that we're likely going to go down. And in looking to see where we're going to go down, we find that nearest support at L7, which is currently negative 2% down. So not the worst thing for ES Futures, but it definitely still says down is the most likely outcome. We see that there was a brief moment today of, touching L5, that resistance, and it looks like it did a good job of swatting price back down. So it looks like on the daily, we still have about 2% down as long as LS is printing the bearish prints. So that should be the target. If we zoom into the 15-minute, we see we did have a little bit of this bearish activity here during the day. But it quickly resolved around 2:30, and it looks like in no small part, thanks to these dip buyers that came in, these lower order LTs, and they seem to be supporting spot right here. So the bullish candles here, and so we do, at least on the short term here, a reasonable expectation is to retest this support, which is only about 0.29% up. So, but the daily is definitely showing us bearish prints, and so I think overall that seems to be where the week will head for the remainder of the week. For GME, we are looking at a touchy situation, right? We still have LS printing bullish candles, but we have fallen through L5 support. But liquidity status isn't convinced that things are not in a recoverable position. And I can't help but think that some of this profit taking that's going on up here is helping suppress price. But again, liquidity status is printing bullish prints. And so it looks like bullish recovery is in the future. This is daily, right? So we're expecting that to be over the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. So it's not going to be anything that happens right away. But it is absolutely something that we can start planning for as, we are in contact with this L5 support. And liquidity status is still printing bullish candles. So definitely something to keep an eye out for. And obviously the thorn in the side, the Achilles heel to this would be if LS starts printing bearish prints, and then we have to maybe reconfigure our outlooks. But for now, it looks like over the next month, a recovery is in order. And moving on to NVIDIA, we see on the daily bearish prints, and so we should still expect downside. And it looks like the next support is down here at L7 at 166, which is 7.31% down. And so that seems to be the likely outcome as LS continues to print these bearish prints. So overall, on the daily, it looks like ES Futures are pretty bearish, NVIDIA is pretty bearish, and GME is, despite spot, kind of going lower than would be hoped, liquidity status is still bullish. So quite a little bit of a mix going on. But an exciting market nonetheless. So yeah, all right, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for stopping by. And also keep in mind, there is now a 2-week trial with these indicators. So there will be a link in the description below. Definitely go ahead and sign up. See what it's all about. You get it to try it out for 2 weeks. You get the liquidity status, liquidity triggers all on your own. You get to experiment, look at your own specific and individual stocks. And there's also a discount code, Deep Data, for 30% off for 3 weeks. So I think it's a bit of a steal. It has a lot of members showing some incredible success, actually, with these indicators. Definitely check out my latest post on Twitter if you want one of the more recent examples. And otherwise, I will see you guys next time. Adios.